Welcome to the Legion of Lean podcast, where we battle mediocrity and build the best versions of ourselves. Get ready to transform.
Welcome to the Strange Sculpting podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Corey Eggleston. Nice beard, Corey. Man, I wish I grew a beard like that. It's like,
you got a good one too.
Nah, it's not like yours. Look at that.
Nice and tight.
I remember one time I seen you with no beard. You squinted and you had a beard immediately. Actually, I think it was somebody else. But I'm like that, man. I can grow back hair so fast. It's amazing. I remember whenever I was younger, I had no hair on my body. Now it's like, good Lord, I think I should have got a mane. It's like, gosh, I love it though. Stay warm in the winter. Anyway, I'm excited about today's podcast. I think, by the way, whenever people say they're excited, I hear it all the time. I'm excited. You ain't excited. I'm not sure I'm excited, but I'm going to fake it. They're the same fake it till you make it. This is a cool topic, though, that we're going to talk about today. Peptides. And it's all the rage, man. It's been the rage forever for people like you, and I've known about them forever. But now it's just like booming. Everybody's talking about peptides. So today we're going to break it down, Corey. We're going to talk about peptides. Before I start, you want to say something, or you may just introduce what peptides are, and then we can go from there. If you want to say something to all your adoring fans, maybe
go ahead. You go ahead and introduce, and then I'll go from there. Okay.
This is fascinating to me because most people don't even know what peptides are. Peptides are just basically, I'm going to give them a fifth grade analogy. Whenever you eat protein, protein is like 21 amino acids all together. And whenever you eat protein, the macronutrient protein, your body breaks down those proteins in little Lego pieces. And those Lego pieces are amino acids. And so they're single structure. And so it'll break it down. Your body will break it down into a dipeptide or tripeptide. By the way, you know what a dipeptide is? By the way, dipeptide, you know what that is? If you don't, that's fine.
Go ahead. Yeah.
You know what it is, though? I wouldn't. You do?
No, I do not.
A dipeptide is just two amino acids together. Why in the hell isn't it called a bipeptide? A bipeptide, that's two, you freaking idiots. I can't stand smart people. It's like, let's make it more complicated. Dipeptides, two amino acids put together. That's the reason why you wouldn't know. If I would have said bipeptide, you say, hey, I understand that. It's two peptides. You intelligent bastards. I don't like any of you. Anyway, so back to peptides. Whenever you eat protein, your body breaks down the complete protein into single strand amino acids. Then your body will look at it maps it and says, hey, we need to build, Corey, a ligament. And so it'll look at a blueprint and it'll put together peptides together, which is like if you were building a Lego castle, like the Millennium Falcon. That's the #1 Lego set of all time, by the way. I'm not going to get into that. Made me smile for the nerds. You know what I'm saying? I was a nerd. I liked that. Anyway, so it'd be like me building like the main thruster, and then you building the hull or whatever, if it has a hull. I don't even. Or the front end. You would be, so those peptides would be components of that ship. I build the back end, you build the front end, we put it together. Yeah. That's what peptides are. And then they build the structure. And so whenever you take a peptide, and there's different kinds of peptides, so people get confused. I'm just going to break this down too. You got collagen peptides, you got branched chain amino acids, those are peptides. You got all these different drinkable peptides, and people get those confused with the injectable peptides. I'm taking peptides. Whenever we talk, we're going to talk about today, by the way, just so you know, we're going to talk about BPC 157. We're going to talk about TB 500. Then we're going to talk about IGF-1. And then, but I'm just setting the table. So if you guys, just so you know, I'm not just rambling, although I am. I enjoy it. So whenever you take like drinkable peptides, a lot of that is really marketing. Whenever you have a collagen peptide, there's like three amino acids that are basically in a collagen peptide that your body needs for nails and hair and skin. And it's mainly more of a marketing because it's digestible and your body takes it in the stomach and it's just going to break it down. It's going to use it wherever it wants to. So it's not automatic shuttling to your head, fingernails and everything else. There's a small amount of validity to it as far as it helping your skin, hair, and nails. but not as much as what most people. Most of it's my marketing hype, and whenever you do peptides, it's a little easier digesting. So I'm not boohooing the whole thing. I drink collagen peptides in my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
But it's easier digesting. But as far as people thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna look like, you know, I'm gonna look like I don't know what's that name of that chick that just did the jeans commercial, Sydney Sweeney. I'm gonna have skin like Sydney Sweeney. You're not gonna look like that tomorrow if you're 70 years old and you take peptides. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna help a little bit, but not. It's not magic. People act like, if I'm taking collagen peptides, I'm gonna be that. That's totally different. But then people get confused with that. And then they also get confused with what peptides are, injectable peptides. And they sometimes think the injectable peptides are similar to the collagen peptides as far as what they do. Completely different animal.
Yeah.
And so now I'll just talk about like injectable peptides. Injectable peptides is literally the pre-built structure that you're actually putting in your body. So I would be sending, and it would shuttle it. So whenever you take collagen peptides, it is actually that peptide, easier digestible. Your stomach digests it, and it goes out to your body in single amino acids, dipeptides, the tripeptides to build things. But it breaks it down really small. Whenever you take a BPC 157 or TB 500 or insulin growth factor 1, you take those things. You put those in your body, and it's actually the structure that your body's already pre-built. So it'd be like it'd be like me taking the whole and giving it to you, and you put it together in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's what that is. And now, so I just set the table, and as far as what those are, hopefully that made sense. Did it make sense to you? Was that a decent analogy, at least?
Yeah,
I think what happens is people overcomplicate stuff, and I guess my brain. I mean, remember the AI photo I sent you? You have a big brain of yourself. I made an AI photo of himself in his last transformation. We just talked about before the podcast.
Yeah.
And I showed him what he's going to look like. His body got smaller, but he looked like a big bobblehead. It's made his head bigger. But anyway, I don't even know why I said that, but that was free. Go ahead and talk. Go ahead and talk.
Yes,
Clean this mess up, please.
Rundown, and then we'll dive deeper into peptides on a later podcast. But yeah, so first of all, like if you follow any sort of fitness influencers or anything like that, the minute you like a fitness influencer's Instagram or whatever, you're probably starting to get a lot of ads and things for peptides, and for the pop up on your feed. So peptides are everywhere, and there's so many different places you can buy them from. Technically, they're not available for human use, right? They're for research purposes only, but they're proven. I mean, I won't say that. I'm not going to say proven, but they've been shown to do great things for people. So I'll just talk about my personal experiences. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but I'm going to say
this is anecdotal evidence. That's what this is. But it's good.
So tendonitis, right? A lot of people deal with it. So I had it in my elbow, and it was pretty bad for a few years. I mean, just bad enough where it was very annoying, and it would get pretty painful at times. But me being the person I am, I just didn't care. I just continued to work out as hard as I did before. And so it continued to get worse, right? So then I start to see these different things on BPC 157. And so I decide, hey, I'm going to give this a go. And so I bought some from a site that I trust the guy that was promoting it. And I think that's important. You got to find a trustworthy person. And then hopefully the things they're promoting are also good, right? So it's not some random person saying, go buy this, go buy that, but it's a person that you're familiar with, that you trust what their advice they're giving you, and then you can kind of use their products. That's what I did. So I bought some, and I would, I got the insulin needles off Amazon or whatever, and so I would just take a little bit at a time, and I would just go straight into my elbow, my muscle right there on my forearm, as close to the injury site as you can. So if it's your knee, put it in your knee. So anyway, I would say probably within 2 weeks, it was significantly better. Within 4 weeks, it was completely gone. And I haven't dealt with it since. That was probably 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago.
I remember whenever you did it.
Since. And so that's a combination of things. So I think it's a combination of that. I think it's a combination of me being smarter with how I lift. And I think it's also with me building more muscle mass. And so I'm now able to control, my tendons are stronger, my muscles are stronger. So I think that's a whole culmination of things. But I will say, I mean, I'm telling you from my experience, Within 4 weeks, it was completely gone. And I think you could probably find a lot of stories like that online of people that have used BPC 157 specifically for those types of things. And so that is like an injury peptide. I would say it's not going to get you jacked, right? It's not going to help you lose weight, but it is going to help you recover. So if you're dealing with recovery issues, like you're really, really sore, or like, again, you're injured. And I've seen people talk about how like they have surgery and they'll take BPC 157 after a surgery. And it's, you know, if the doctor says, hey, it's going to be 12 weeks before you are able to do the X, Y, and Z, they can speed that up, maybe cut it in half, right? 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks.
Yeah.
They can do something like that. And so there's healing stacks, they call them. Peptide stacks is what you'll hear a lot of people talk about. Peptide
before
stacks.
you talk about that, let me just say this, because I'm just going to explain what you just said there. As far as a BPC 157 is actually made in your stomach, and it naturally prevents, it actually heals your stomach. And so not only does it heal the muscles, but I'm just going to give you some anecdotal evidence I got, because I've trained people. I had a girl that had massive stomach pain, started taking it, went away. I have a guy that had what's that called? Plantar fasciitis. Injected it right in the heel, went away.
Ooh,
Tendonitis in the elbow, went away. Shoulder, went away. Another guy's shoulder went away. I got a guy, you know him, one of our buddies. I'm not going to say his name now, but he took it and had major shoulder problems, and he got over it almost immediately. This guy's a little bit older, and he's beat up like crazy. And he was like, man, I can't even work out, Don. I can't work out. I just feel my muscles. He just got done with the show. He was just jacked. His body was jacked up like crazy from all kinds of injuries. And he was like so sad, because the guy wants to be a pro so bad, wants to be a pro competitor so bad. And I told him, man, you need to take BPC 157 and pair it with what you can really say, TB 500. He did. And he's like, this is a freaking miracle. I said, that's amazing. And so there's a lot of, anecdotal evidence. What happens is whenever you have a lot of people saying the same things, what they should do, but they won't, is they should take all the anecdotal evidence and then do a clinical study on it. But they don't want to do that. I'm not a fan of the medical industry as a whole. I'm like doctors, but I'm just not a fan of what they do. I don't like, I like solving problems. It's fascinating. Never mind. I'm not going to go on my soapbox, but I could for a while. But now I'll throw it back to you, and you can talk about TB 500 if you want to, because I think that's where you're headed. Did you stack yours with TB 500? Because I've never had a client where I just told them to do one, and I think you just did one.
So I just did a BPC 157.
That's awesome.
I did, but then later on, I have done that with TB 500, which also helped heal my injuries and things like that. And so I'm not going to go into a whole bunch. I'm just saying, like, so what I really want to hit on is there are so many peptides out there right now. It's like, I feel like every time I get online, there's a new peptide someone's talking about, and they're talking about this and they're talking about that. And so, like, I'm like, oh, I'll take that. Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm not, you can't do that. You can, but you really have to research what's the purpose you're trying to solve. So are you trying to lose weight? Are you trying to gain muscle? Are you trying to heal? And then go from there. You don't have to just start taking this, and this. It's the same thing as like vitamins. You're like, oh, I'm taking 73 vitamins every day. Okay, well, that's great, but you probably don't need all those, right? So, like I said, it's very important to figure out what is your goal, and then what peptides are going to help you reach that goal. And so we briefly, I think we just mentioned GLPs last week. And so then obviously, like, if your goal is weight loss, the GLPs, those are what you're going to want to focus on, right? So we've talked about like the tirzepatide, those Empics, like those are peptides. Those are and those are FDA approved, because those are the ones that I guess they've done the clinical trials on, right? And so they, for some reason, have not wanted to do clinical trials on the others. And some of the reasons that they say is because since some of them have like a growth factor in them, they say that can then accelerate like a tumor growth or something like that. So they're saying if you already have some sort of issue, right, in your system, which some people have, tumors that are benign, if you then take something that's helping your body heal, which is having growth within your system, it could then accelerate the growth of that. And so that's, from what I've researched, that's one of the main factors as to why they say they're not clearing these by these are not being cleared by the FDA, because of those types of factors when it's linking cells and blood vessels and things like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's awesome. I was gonna. I tell you what, we're gonna delve into semaglutide, triceptide, retatrutide. Those are the big three when it comes to GLPs. I'm not gonna go into them a lot, but they're fascinating. They're like opening Pandora's box because there's so many different opinions on them. In fact, at one time I was like anti them. I didn't. What I don't like. I don't speak too much about things I don't know, so I kept my opinion to myself until I get it. But I have doctors on both sides of the issue that I really respect who are completely opposite in it. And so I think a lot of people don't need to take them because they need to learn how to eat. And then once you learn how to eat, then you can do it because it's going to be beneficial. But if you're taking a GLP and you're still eating McDonald's all the time, you're not going to like the results you get because you're going to lose muscle mass and you're going to end up. It's just it is a quick fix. You got to learn how to eat. And so what I'll do in the future, I can't wait because I will pair semaglutide, tirzepatide, and retatrutide through a doctor with my 40-day fix because that way you get both. You get them both together. You get high protein, got to have protein, and you can get these in together, and it will be a game.
Exactly. Those are becoming popular. Yeah, they're becoming popular in the bodybuilding world because of the fact that for bodybuilders, when they want to cut down, maybe they're prepping for a show, and so they want to try to get rid of as much body fat as they can, but they don't want to lose any muscle. So you can take those, right? Tirzepatide, retatrutide, any of those, as long as you're still getting your protein in, you're still working out hard, like you will retain your muscle mass. It's not just going to start taking it away, but it's if you take it and then you just sit expecting something to happen, you're going to lose weight. You might look thinner, but it's because your muscle as well as your fat is shrinking. And as we've talked about many times, the key to longevity is muscle mass, right? Maintaining that muscle mass as you get older. So that's kind of the problem that I see with them. Like I'm with you. I used to be completely against it. I was like, no, work hard, eat right, you'll be fine. But now it's kind of like, well, if you need something to jumpstart you, okay, you can do this for 8 weeks, 12 weeks, and then you should be able to come off of it and continue your lifestyle. But it's a lifestyle change. And so this will help you kind of get to your goal faster if you're willing to maintain that. And so my issue that I see with it is that I'm afraid that people are going to see it. They're going to use it. They're going to lose a bunch of weight. They're like, this is great. They're going to gain weight back when they stop, and they're going to take it again while losing more muscle mass. They're losing some fat, but they're going to be losing that more muscle mass. And so it's almost, you want to make sure you maintain that muscle mass as you get older. So if you're just looking at it as the only answer, right, this is what I'm going to use, I'm not going to do anything else, well, then that's a problem. You got to make sure you pair it with lifestyle changes as well.
I can't, and we're not going to do it right now, but the benefits of them are phenomenal. Now, I will tell you this, too, this is the last thing I'm going to say about them, and then we'll go into the last one we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But there are some side effects to some of them. Like one of them is gastroparesis, which is a slowing of the digestion system. Where have you probably heard that before? Have you heard that one before?
Yeah.
But one of the things semaglutide does, which is that's like the most popular one. Triceptide is number 2. Retatrutide is the new kid on the block.
Yeah.
But the semaglutide, one of the biggest people are scared about that, which would be scary if you got it, but it does slow gastric emptying. That's one of the things it does.
It makes you feel full longer, right? So you're eating less food. I mean, that's a big part of it. Yeah.
So, but your food stays in your stomach longer, and so I think a lot of that. Plus, since the medical establishment got ahead of it, like people, this is what's funny about the medical establishment compared to people like you and I. If I were to do it myself, I wouldn't take the dose they give them. They give their patients. I would take a micro dose, a smaller dose. Yeah. And they load people up in a lot of stuff. Number one, that would be a problem. It could be a problem. I don't think it is. I think this is the main problem. Whenever it goes to things like that would be overdoing it. But then two, people do this. One of the biggest problems is muscle loss gain. But you know this, most people eat less than 50 grams of protein a day. And now you topple on whenever you start taking this GLP. Whenever you take it, now you're not even hungry, and so you're going to eat even less protein. The problem with that is your body's most important macronutrient is protein. It's a structural macronutrient. Everything in your body, your eyes, your hair, your hands, your bones are even made of 30% protein. Your everything, skin is made of protein. And so now whenever you have less protein, those genetic flaws in from heredity start exposing themselves. So if your mom had mac generation, or your mom had, or your dad had this, your dad had these
Mhm.
problems, I always say this, genetics load the gun, a lifestyle pulls the trigger. And
Yeah.
so if you're going to take a GLP and you don't eat any protein, you can expect some bad effects, because no one eats enough protein anyway. Now everybody's carb heavy and fat heavy, and I'm not opposed to those. Carbs and fat are great,
Yeah.
but not the processed crap. We speak about that all the time. Not that I don't eat it occasionally, but it's occasionally. And so that would be one of the downfalls on it. I'm just telling you downfalls. Other than that, I can't wait till we delve into these even deeper, because they're going to blow your mind what I've been researching a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm excited about it. But you got to
Yeah.
if you're taking a semaglutide, you take one of these, you got to get protein up high. If you don't use it, you lose it. So you need to work out and you need to eat protein while you do it. Otherwise, you're going to end up a smaller version of your former fat self. You're gonna look like crap. You're gonna feel like crap. You're gonna gain all the weight back. That's what you'll be a
Yeah.
skinny fat person on the beach. If you want that, that's fine. But you don't have to be. That's what's great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I agree.
So now let's talk about IGF-1.
Last one. Yeah. Yeah.
Talk
So
about IGF-1.
IGF-1 is more so like your this is going to be a muscle building peptide. Okay. So maybe you've reached your goals, right? Or maybe you've lost the weight, and so now you're like, okay, now I want to jumpstart some muscle building compounds in my body. And so IGF-1, it's the same thing. It's something that's already naturally made in your body. And so when you put this into your body, it's just going to help those cells and things bind more effectively. And so it's going to help your muscles build more effectively. But again, as we just said, and Don, I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about IGF and the science behind it. But as we just talked about, if you're just taking it and you're not changing what you're doing lifestyle wise, it's not going to be effective. And so that's the one thing, is when I listen to somebody talk about peptides or something like that online or Instagram or Facebook, whatever it may be, if they're not talking about pairing this with X amount of grams of protein, X amount of minutes of cardio, X amount of minutes of lifting heavy weight, things like that, I'm not really going to be concerned with what they have to say, because I don't think that they're actually trying to push it the way that they should. Maybe they are affiliated with a peptide website and they're just trying to push their products. They make more money. I'm more concerned with the ones who are actually educating those people on how it works, why it works, and how you're going to get the best results from it. So as we just said, all of the peptides are great, but if you're not actually taking it for a pinpointed reason, if you're just trying to take them, just let's take them all and see what happens, it's probably not going to work. That's where the harm could come into play. But again, if you're trying to build some muscle, IGF-1 is a great way to do that. And IGF-1 is probably, it's another peptide. A lot of them you're going to inject subcutaneous, right? So into your belly fat, or just under your skin. IGF-1 is one that you're going to want to pinpoint to an actual muscle groups, whether it's shoulder, your pectoral, wherever that may be. That's where it's going to be most effective. Now, you don't have to, but that's what the research has shown, that it's going to be most effective.
Yeah. Also, a lot of people need to take it. Like if you're over like for a man, if you're over like 15% body fat, don't do it. It's not going to work well. It needs for leaner individuals. So most people need to take it anyway. It's more of a lean stack. But what it's going to do for somebody like you that's lean, you're going to be able to put on more muscle mass. It's kind of like, how would I say this? It's like a foreman who doesn't just get workers to build a bigger house. It actually hires more workers so it can build more houses. And that's what your body does. And so you're just you inject it in whatever muscle you want. It's going to help you build up that muscle a lot better. It's phenomenal. Like you said, it pairs with human growth hormone. And the human growth hormone, by the way, whenever you get older, what happens? Human growth hormone goes down. Actually, 30s, 40s, and 50s. My gosh, that's the stuff that makes you look younger and feel younger. Repair. The older you get, the repairs go downhill. So I would, if I were you or anybody else, you're not. If I were me, this is what I would do: get below 15% body fat, get on some IGF-1, get on some other, and we're not talking about right now, but some other growth hormone peptides. It's going to help you build that muscle mass back up. But it's you need to be lean if you're going to take IGF-1. You don't want to be chubster. I'm not going to
Yeah.
take it right now. I've got a little bit of cream filling I got to get rid of before I take it. So I'm not going to do it right now.
That's where
But
the
maybe
GLPs can come into play. So you can use the
that's right.
GLP, like I said, you can lose that weight, and then maybe now you're like, okay, now I'm ready to jumpstart my muscle building
Absolutely.
process. So,
And I'll be honest with people, everybody, probably right now, I think around December, I'll be really, really, really lean and gonna redo. I was telling this is funny. I got a new supplement line coming out. Got creatine, got Strange Way. I love naming everything after myself. And so I got Strange Way coming out. I got creatine. I got Strange, what is it called? Strange energy
pre-workout.
coming out. Energy coming out. It's not a pre-workout. It's just energy throughout the day.
Yeah.
I didn't stack it high enough to get enough caffeine in it, enough thermogenic. So I don't really, really want that. There's so many pre-workouts out there. It's just energy on the day for those energy drinkers. So for you, you could throw something in it and you could drink during the day. It's not going to give you, it's not going to give you all the jitters.
Yeah.
I love pre-workout stuff, but I decided to give it a little less kick, and mainly because if I have too much caffeine, it jacks me up. So I say, hey, I'm gonna make this for me. But anyway, I just tell you the story though. I got to redo all my photos of myself, but you can't do it if it looks like I'm sponsored by Hostess. And so this is what I'm doing. I'm going to redo all my photo shoots really soon. And I had on the label, all my labels, it's my picture. And so I showed it to somebody, and they said, "Dude, you're not 25 anymore." I said, I wasn't 25 then. I was freaking 40. I'm only 48. You know what I'm saying? It's a woman. It was two women tell me the same thing. I was actually complaining about the one woman to the other woman. And I said, I showed this. I said, just like I showed this to one of my clients. And I said, hey, what do you think about this? She said, "You're not 25 anymore." I'm not 20. I was 40. And she said, and so I was telling this other lady that. And she said, "Yeah, well, you're not 25. I was 40 then." And then she said, "Yeah, I know, but that doesn't look like you at all." I said, "Okay, you know what? I'm done with you guys. You freaking jerks." And so anyway, so I'm going to redo all my photos really soon. That's one thing I can do. Anyway, I don't know why I said that, but pretty soon we got Strange Energy coming out. We got Strange Way coming out, Strange Creatine, some of the three big products. And you know this, you've heard me say this before. If I don't like it, I'm not going to put my name on it. And so everybody loves energy. And deal is caffeine's the world's largest psychotropic drug. I love caffeine. I'm not going to quit drinking it. And so I'm going to do that. That's the one that's on the verge. Like, okay, is it healthy? No. I'm all about RFK and the freaking Make America Healthy Again. I am totally, but I still like caffeine, right? Still, I don't want Hostess. I hope he doesn't get rid of Hostess, because every now and then I want a Twinkie. But that being said, I'm all for that. But I'm kind of a balanced approach. But Strange Way, my Strange Way will be some of the cleanest way ever. I can only think of one product that's going to cost 10 times more. It's more clean than my protein. It's called J-Rub protein. J-Rub protein's cleaner. It's not cleaner. It's just made 100% grass-fed organic beef, and not always made that way. In order to get that, you're going to really upcharge you like times 10. And so even most of it, so when people say, "Oh, why isn't yours that way?" Well, I'm trying to bring a price point to the masses, and eventually we'll get that elite way. But right now, Strange Way is super clean. It's made with stevia, not made with aspartame or sucrose. Anyway, I don't know why I said that. I guess I'm just excited about the future, Corey.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway, so I think today's podcast is good. What are we going to give away today? Maybe I give away the Gut Punch. I gave away that last time, the Gut Punch, free Gut Punch ebook. Maybe I'll give away my 30 Power Pack protein recipes. Link below, you can get that. I got my Jesus is King shirt. This is actually a Strange Sculpting brand, by the way. You need to get one of these. If you believe in Jesus, you need one of these shirts. Fitness brings freedom. Jesus was American. Obviously, he probably had a tattoo of him. So, by the way, this is the last thing. So I grew up Pentecostal, and people were like, you can't get tattoos if you're Pentecostal. Tattoos bad. The Bible says don't mark your body. And I got a tattoo right there. You see that right there? That's where he basically did a mural of my wife's initial, Tammy. And so it really, if she ever decides to get rid of me, it's going to, it's like, I got to find another T. So be on the lookout just in case she decides to pull something. But back to the tattoo thing. I don't know why I'm saying this, but Jesus in the book of Revelation, the Bible says he will have a tattoo. It doesn't say that he will have on his thigh will be faithful and true written on his thigh. It's a tattoo. Jesus has a tattoo. I don't know why I said that. That's free. Anyway, On the show notes below, you can check out Instagram. Check me on Instagram. I'm Don Strange. This is Corey Eggleston. Check out our links below. Get the shirts. Get the products. I can't wait to roll them out. Talk to you guys next time.
All right.